Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna create some hair and beard and eyelashes and things like that, facial hair for our zombie character. And I'm gonna do so using Ornatrix for Maya. So before I can start, I'm gonna need to define some area where do I want my hair to grow. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to duplicate my existing zombie here. There it is. And go to solo mode, and I don't need to see the color, so I'm gonna go here, texture map. I don't need to see this, and let's choose a material that okay. And I'm also gonna drop the subdivision level. Don't need such high detail for this. And I'm gonna create a mask. I'm gonna start by painting a mask where I want my hair to grow. So I'll start doing like this, and I'm gonna start with the beard, and I'm gonna paint like here and here, something like that, something like so, and a little bit here. All right, like that here and here. Okay, and it's gonna be here and here, and let's put some beard here as well, so something like this. All right, and let's bring it up to there. It's not gonna be obviously it's not gonna be a nice looking beard. It's gonna be very creepy looking, and the same is gonna do with the hair. Obviously we don't want our zombie to look slick. We want it to look very trashy and nasty. So I'm gonna put some here, something like this. Let's see, how deep do we want this beard to go? Maybe something like this, here and here, a little bit here, and maybe a little bit here. I don't know, doesn't need to be super precise. Alright, something like this, and let's bring it up there, like so. Alright, maybe I want some here, a little bit, and I might definitely want some here and some here, just a little bit to be more creepy. And let's put a little bit here as well. Alright, we can always once we have applied our beard, we can always go and delete the part that we think they're not right. So for now I'm just gonna select all these areas here. It would be kind of cool and nasty if some of the beard kind of sticks out from the damaged area. It could be some bloody looking beard. So let's do like that. Alright, something like this. And here, and maybe some here and some here, like that. Actually, maybe this is a little bit too much. Let's get rid of that. All right, and that's fine. Okay, something like that. Maybe a little bit towards here. Okay, like something like this. Now, now that we've done our selection, actually, let me go here and add a little bit more here and here and there. So it's gonna spawn in these places as well. It's gonna look pretty creepy. All right, like so. All right, and maybe a bit here and a little bit less here or whatever. And now I'm gonna scroll down to actually first I'm gonna go even one level lower, and I'm gonna delete the highest and the lowest subdivision, so I have no more subdivision. Now I scroll down into my polygroups, and I activate here the polygroup display, and I'm gonna click on group masked, like that. So all this area that now became green, these I have a polygroup assigned, and this is gonna be one of our spawn places for our beard. So next, let's do the same for let's do some eyebrow. Doesn't need to be particularly fancy, just something that we might want there, and something like there. Maybe I don't really want too much eyebrows for this character, but would be cool to have something. So a little bit in there, and something there and there, and a little bit there, just to get something going on, like so. And then again, going here and click group masked. So those again are going to be our second spawning point. And now let's do the same for the hair. Our hair are going to be here, like so. I'm going to just follow roughly where this character hair are. So if I move it there, let me check. Let me activate the texture. Let's see. If I go to flat color here, they're basically just here. Let me remove them from here, like so. A bit hair here, something like that. He's balding out. Alright, and a little bit here. Let's not cover too much this vein that I like. And let's see from this side what we get. Maybe something like this. Alright, something like so. And a little bit here. Okay, and this side as well. I'm just gonna roughly follow where the texture of the original character had some of the hair. If I zoom in, it's probably hard to see, but And let's make some space here like this, and let's make some space here like this. All right, and let's move this here a little bit, and here, kind of like that. All right, okay, and here, and maybe a little bit less here, and less here, something like that. All right, let's see from here, maybe this guy a little bit further, and this guy a little bit back, like so, and like so. All right, this could work. All right, and again, going to my polygroup view, and then polygroups and group masked. So these also are gonna be the hair. Now, by holding Control Shift and tap on this polygroup, I'm gonna isolate it, and do that again outside the selection. Basically, Control Shift and drag like this outside the selection will invert the mask. So I'm gonna get something like that, and I'm gonna go here and say geometry and modify topology and delete hidden. So everything that was hidden got deleted. So now I only have these groups here. This and this are a little bit similar, so what I'm gonna isolate this and scroll down to polygroups and click on group visible, so I have a different color. And okay, this should do. What I want to do, I'm going to actually separate this part. I'm gonna make this part a little bit different. Let's go back here, because I might want this hair to be a little bit more. I want probably a little more hair in this area here compared to the rest of the beard. So I'm just gonna separate this into like this, something like that. So I'm gonna have a little bit more control of these areas here. And okay, maybe like this, and let's include this guy. Actually, let's do it something like this, because this part goes inside like so. All right, and then again from here I'm gonna do group masked. All right, so now I have these polygroups. Okay, so now that I have these guys, I can export them into my Maya scene, which I've prepared here. This is my this is the low poly mesh that I have of these guys here, and I'm gonna export these and start making some hair. So I'm gonna go and start from the hair. So I'm gonna again hold Control Shift and click to isolate this guy, and I'm gonna go to export, and I'm gonna call this hair scalp. All right, then I'm going to select this guy and export, and this is gonna be beard surface 01. That's probably okay. And this is gonna be beard surface 02, and this is gonna be eyebrows. Okay, and actually, let's see, for the eyelashes I think I might just use polygons from what I have here. These are probably fine, so I'm just gonna use these, and probably these guys. Yeah, okay, so actually let me do that. So I'm gonna duplicate this head geo here, and I'm gonna hide this one, and from here my selection tools, my modeling tools here, I'm going to select these guys. I'm holding tab to do this marquee selection here, and I'm gonna hold these guys here, and then I'm gonna do the same here, and I'm gonna do the same here, something like this. All right, then I'm gonna invert the selection and delete it, and these are my polygons that I'm gonna use. Maybe they're a little bit thick, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to select a loop here, this edge loop, and down here I'm gonna click on connect, and maybe I'm gonna add a couple of segments like this, and let me isolate this guy. So I'm gonna only keep these and these, and invert selection and delete. So these are the only polygons that I'm gonna use to spawn the eyelashes. And now let me import these objects here. So this is my zombie reference folder. So I'm gonna go here. I don't need the MTL, so I'm just delete this, the material. Don't need these two guys here. Alright, let's go into Maya, and I'm just going to select beard surface 1, beard surface 2, eyebrows, and hair scalp, and I'm just gonna drag them into Maya. And here they are. That's the hair scalp, that's the beard, and this is the other beard, and this is the eyebrows. Obviously I'm gonna get rid of this in the end. I just need these surfaces for now, just to spawn hair. So let's get started. Let me save this scene. It's called Zombie 01. I saved it previously. when I imported my head. So let's start with the beard. All right. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna start with the eyebrows. So sorry, I meant the eyelashes. And I'm gonna separate the top ones from the bottom ones. So I'm gonna select these and select these, and I'm gonna go and separate these into different objects, and then I'm gonna select these two guys, mesh and combine, delete history, freeze transformation, center pivot. So let me clear the history here as well, and ungroup this object and get rid of this. So I have this object and this object. All right, so let's get started, and let's go to the Ornatrix panel, and with this first object selected, I'm gonna click on this icon with the plus, and I'm gonna select purple. Boom. All right, so these are massive. Actually, yeah, I forgot to do one thing. Our object here is a little bit small, so let me undo this and let me group everything. Control G to group this, and I'm going to scale everything about so let's see, I think the average adult skull size is about 23-25 centimeters, or around 9.8 inches or something like that if you're American. Let's go here, let's make a box, something like this, and let's make this box about let's go with 25. So this is gonna be roughly the size of our skull. So let me scale up this guy. Let's scale it about 10 times, that should do. And let's move it a little bit here, don't need this guy. And let's see, just in case, since the object for using the object for Ornatrix are also being scaled, I'm just worried that this might be a problem. Let me see what happens. So I'm gonna select this guy here and apply again this furball. Yeah, it's not if I don't reset the transformation, this is not gonna work. So I'm gonna grab these objects and I'm gonna drag them outside the group. So, and just to be sure, I'm gonna go again and freeze the transformations. So now, hopefully, if I select this guy and go up again here, yeah, now this worked. So the default hair are much smaller. Obviously they are huge for our purposes, but we're gonna adjust that in a second. So let's go here and click from guide from mesh, and let's go to our attributes. So in the latest version of Ornatrix, they actually added one of my most wanted feature, which is face center distribution, and I'm very happy that they did this. So thank you to the guys of Ether for adding this function. So I'm gonna click on this one, and what it does, it basically spawn a guide from the center of the faces, so which is quite cool and useful. Let's go back here, and this length here, 50, it's super long, so let's drop it to something like so this is a guy, let's do 0.5 for now. Actually, let's go a little bit longer. We can always shorten the later. All right, and now I'm gonna go here to hair from guides, and first of all, let's go to render settings, and these hair are still really big, as you can see. So I'm gonna go to render setting node, and I'm gonna set to something like 0.01, and also I'm gonna convert this to polygons. So I'm gonna click here, this icon here that says mesh from strands, and I'm gonna select the cylinder. So now I got this cylindrical polygons here. Now I can go back to my render setting node and adjust a couple of parameters. First of all, I don't want them to spawn that big, so I'm gonna drop this to about this size here, and then I'm gonna do something like this. I'm gonna add maybe a point here, something like so. Okay. Now let's reduce these because they are way too many. Let's go maybe 500. Still too many. Let's go about 300, something like this. All right, and okay, and now a cool method to create eyebrows in Ornatrix. We're gonna add on top of the hair from guide node. I'm gonna add a where is it? There it is. Comb on surface node. So immediately you notice that I've got this nice curvature going on here, and I can actually go here and adjust these parameters to better fit my need. And I'm gonna click on Sync's editing tool. So clicking here, this blue button activates, and now I'm gonna click where the hair are spawning. I'm gonna drag a directional basically directional guide for the hair to follow. So I want this to go a little bit like here, and this guy maybe like so. All right, and also now these hair here are all the same size, the same length, but I actually want these guys and these guys to be shorter. So what I'm gonna do, well, first of all, I'm gonna repeat this on the other side. So I'm gonna go here, and with my sync editing tool still active, I'm going to click if I can get it. It's a bit tricky to click here. The polygon is very small. There you go. Here, here, and maybe here. Okay, like so. And all right, and now maybe also I'm gonna adjust this guy and this guy, like a little bit like that, and do the same on this side here. Select this guy and move it a little bit down. Seems that this is a little bit tricky to select. There you go. And this guy a little bit down like so. Alright. And for the length, I'm gonna go back to Edit Guide, and from here I'm gonna use the scissor, and I'm gonna start clicking here and cut off these guys like so, and these guys as well, and I'm gonna do the same on this side. So cut this guy off and these guys off, and maybe this guy as well. Okay. Alright. And next thing I want to do, now these eyelashes are very nice and uniform, but this is a zombie, so I don't want them like this. So on top here, first of all, I'm gonna add a hair cluster, and I'm gonna drop this to way too much. I'm gonna drop it to something like maybe this, and the cluster multiplier, I'm gonna set it to 1.5, so it goes a little bit beyond this curve like this. Okay. And also I might want to add a little bit of frizz, but this is way too much, and I don't want any of these guys, so let's see what I get. So this is a zombie, so let's do something like this to create some variation. And I can actually use this slider here to move a few of them, make them look a little bit more creepy, like this maybe. Alright, something like that. Now it might be a little bit difficult to see this. Let's see if I can assign new material. I'm just gonna assign some blend shader, and I'm gonna drop it to black so I can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Alright, looking good. And maybe I'm gonna make them just a little bit longer. Let's see. On top of the frizz node, I'm gonna add a length node, and maybe I'm gonna increase this guy a little bit, something like 1.3, but I'm gonna add some randomize as well, so maybe something like this. So some of this hair is gonna be longer than others. Alright, that's looking quite good. Maybe these guys are too short, not sure. But for now I'm gonna keep it like this. And what I might want to do, I might want to go back to my surface comb here, Things Edit tool. Maybe I'm gonna edit this guy a little bit more here, and this guy a little bit more here, just because I feel like they are a little bit too far away. Just a little bit like so. All right, I think it looks pretty good. So okay, maybe one thing that I want to do, if I go back to surface comb, I might want to move these guys down a little bit. Like this. Maybe something like this. All right. Yeah, I like that. And I'm gonna save it. So, okay. And so now let's do the lower lashes here. I'm gonna basically do the same thing, but with less eyelashes, because usually the one below are much less. So again, I'm gonna click here and click on Verbal and create. So I get this again, this same result, but I'm gonna start here selecting these guys, and I'm gonna delete them. And basically what I'm gonna do here, let me just reduce this to something like 0.5, and from this face the center distribution mode. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on the previous hair system, and I'm gonna copy, let's start with these parameters here. Okay, I'm gonna right click and select copy, and from here I'm gonna select paste. So I've got the same exact parameter that I had before, and let me actually assign the same material, so put in 1 so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna reduce the number here, maybe about 100, and I'm gonna apply a new, on top of this I'm gonna apply again the comb on surface, and this time I want it to go on the other direction. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change this orientation multiplier, and now they are rotating on the other side, and I'm gonna apply the same sinks that I used before. So I'm gonna have to use the inverse of what I'm doing, because the orientation multiplier is considering this guys to move on the other side. So I know it might be a little bit confusing, but that's the way that currently works. So something like this, and I'm gonna adjust this guy here, and I'm gonna move this guy here a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same here. Click and drag inside like so, and click and drag like this, and click and drag like this. Okay, and I want them to be to go a little bit more down, so slope multiplier maybe 1.5, and also maybe a bit too much, 1.3. And I'm going to apply also the same hair cluster. Again, drop it to something like maybe like this, just a little bit like so. And hair length, and this time I'm just gonna add some randomizer and then increase a little bit there. Also, I forgot that the hair cluster node, I want the cluster multiplier to go further than, so they can cross each other, and something like that could be cool. All right, I think these are looking pretty decent. Maybe once again I'm gonna go back to the guides, and I forgot to add an edit guide, so let me add an edit guide here so I can change the length. And again, I'm gonna cut out this guy a little bit, cut it out short, and these guys as well, like this, and these are fine. Okay, cool. All right, so all right, so I'm gonna save this, and the eyelashes are done. Now, next we are gonna move to the eyebrows. So for the eyebrows, I'm gonna select these guys here, and I'm going to apply again some furball groom. Click create, and that's what I got. So let me uncheck these, edit guide, and actually guide from mesh node. And in this case, if I select the face center distribution, I'm still gonna get a lot of guides, because these have a lot of polygons. So instead, I'm just gonna go here to random distribution and drop these guides to, I don't know, something like this. That should probably be enough. And obviously drop this length like so, and let's do something like 1. Okay, and let's apply some hair. Again, render settings. I'm gonna delete these and copy these two guys here. Copy, and I'm gonna paste them here. So render settings are there. Now again, I'm gonna add here a let's see, actually let me try in this case just to use the edit guide, and I'm gonna just comb this guy in like this, and let's see, move them up a little bit like so. Let's see what I get. Okay, and it's actually not too bad, but obviously these are way too many hair for this area, so let's go here and drop them to something like 500 maybe. And again, let me apply this material to these guides so I can see what I'm doing. And let's see. Okay, this part is not too bad, but I might want to go again with the root of the sinks. So I'm just gonna try that real quick and see how it looks. So I'm gonna click on the pull brush, and what this does, basically it resets, it pulls the guides back to their original position, so it straightened them back. And let's try, instead of doing that, let's try adding again a comb on surface, and let's see. Right, that's the thing. Well, let's add a sink here, here, here. Let's see what these are going to give us. Something like that, maybe. Okay. You can add as many sinks as you want. Okay, something like that. It's interesting, but I obviously want these guys to be way more towards the geometry. Let's see what I can do with these. They don't look, it doesn't look quite right. All right. Let me get rid of this. I think these look better when I was combing using the comb brush. So let's bring them back like so. All right. Maybe just a little bit up. Oops, like that. And now let's brush them, these guys up, these guys down, something like this, maybe. Okay, and maybe move this guy up a little bit, and also something like that perhaps. And let's do the same here. So let's go here and drop these guys here like so. Up. Okay, and down like this. Obviously this is the damaged area, so they could be much more rough and rough looking. Alright, let's see how this might look, and let's add on top of here, let's try with the guide cluster. So the difference between the guide cluster and the hair cluster is that the guide cluster will, like name suggests, will cluster the hair around the guides. So, and instead of the hair cluster, it's independent. It will just create cluster based on the value and based on I think the distance between them or something like that. So this will gather like this, and let's see what we can get. Oops. Something like that maybe. And on top of this we can also add a hair cluster as well. We can use both, and let's see what we get. Maybe something like this could be or okay. And again, since this guy is a zombie, let's make him much more zombie-like. So let's add this frizz node, and something like this needs to be really creepy. Okay, that's kind of cool, and that's actually kind of cool because this is gonna be the damage area, so that might be fine. And maybe a little bit like this. Alright, cool. I think this might work, so let's save. Alright, cool stuff so far. Now let's move to the beard, and for the beard I'm gonna do pretty much the same. So let's start with this one, the one outside. Let's create a new hair system, fur ball. Delete these two guys here. Actually only this guy. Delete it and copy these two in here. Paste. Alright, and let's assign the plain material. Now let's go back to the guides from mesh and drop this guy down. Alright, so the beard, how long do we want this beard to be? Well, I want it to be a little bit long, not too long, just a little bit to be creepy. The beard is gonna be, I want it to be thicker than compared to the compared to the eyebrows and eyelashes, so just gonna make it like this. Let's get rid of this guy. I'm just gonna make it about this thickness. I can always go back and change this later, but for now this is what we have. So okay, alright, so once again, on top of the hair, let's add a compound surface, and let's move the orientation to the other side like this. And now let's see, let's add some sinks. So I want these guys to go this way. These guys are gonna go this way. This guy is going this way. This way. Like this. These guys are going like down like so. Like so. And maybe like this. Okay. And I want to make this beard start a little bit like so. Something like this maybe. Okay. Something like that perhaps might work better. Now let's add let's see, let's add some more. So let's go to 2000, and on top of the surface comb I'm gonna add a length, and I'm gonna randomize this guy quite a bit, 0.5. So we got a bunch of variations, and let's see, and now let's add some nasty frizz here. So let's increase this parameter, and let's see what we can get here. So about 50%, and let's get crazy with this, because this guy clearly has not been shaved recently, so maybe something like this. I'm also gonna add some curl. This is way too much, so let's see, something like something like this. All right, that's kind of cool. I do like the way that this area looks. And let's see what else we can do. Let's save for now. Maybe if let's try adding a cluster and 1000 cluster. Let's see if I turn it on and off. Does it look good? Yeah, it's not too bad. Maybe a little bit less. Something like this. It's kind of cool. Let's see, on and off. Alright, that's not too bad. Alright, yeah, I do like the way that it looks, especially in this area here. And in the end, the beard is gonna be white. I want it to be white to get some nice contrast. But for now, let's keep it black so we can see what we're doing. And let's do the same for the beard of this surface here. The only difference, so first of all, let's add our fur ball again. And I'm actually deleting these two, and I'm going to copy all of these guys here, paste, and I only need to drop this guy down to what level did I choose here? Let's see, this was 0.2, length was 1.3, so let's do the same, 1.3, and let me assign the black blend material, and let's see what's going on here. So let me start unchecking these guys. Right, is using, okay, I'm gonna have to redo this guy because it's using the sinks that I applied on this beard here, and obviously they're not good for this area. So on top of this one, I'm going to apply again a new common surface and rotate it down here like that, and again I'm gonna adjust this guy. Alright, length node, and let's activate these guys, and let's adjust them a little bit. So let's see, let's do one at a time. So first of all, let's go and add a sink here, some sink here, and one here, then one here, something like this, here on the other side, like so. And one that goes down like this, like that, and like this. Okay. And this guy that goes here and here. So I got some sort of direction going on. All right. Okay, now the frizz node, actually the length here, it's a little bit too long. I might go and shorten this area a little bit, like so. Okay, and the frizz node here, let's see what we can do with this guy. It's something like this. And the curl, whoa, the curl is very sensitive because of this multiplier value here. So kind of have to play a little bit with these parameters. Something like that maybe. And now this hair cluster here, it's needs to be refreshed. So let's see. Let's go here, cluster multiplier, set it on 2. This way they're gonna cross together. And I don't really, beard doesn't tend to do as much cluster as, let's say, the eyelashes or the eyebrows. So this might be an okay value for that. Let's see, on and off, yeah. And I'm not sure about the curl node here. Whoa, whoa. Let's keep it. Something like this. Magnitude. This is how much the curl. Okay, will be affected. Okay. Maybe something like this. Also the length node. Let me increase this guy a little bit. Something like this, and some randomness like so. That's actually looking pretty good. So that that might work. And okay, let's keep it like this for now. Save. And last but not least, let's make the hair. So for the hair, I'm gonna select the scalp, and once again, furball. Boom, here's my hair. So let's drop this guy. I want the hair to be a little bit long, not too long, but a little bit long. Let's see, maybe 10. And again, the hair, let's make it like something like this. Okay. And let's see what we can do here. Let's go first of all, and let's grab this guy, copy and paste, and now again assign the blend material so I can see them. Now I actually want the hair to be a little bit thicker. Let's go back here maybe something like this. Okay. And alright, something like that could be okay. And let's see. Alright. Again, let's go with the comb on surface. And whoa, that looks interesting. I could actually it's pretty cool looking character, but it's not quite the style that I want. So let me drop this down, and once again let me drop these guys down quite a bit, like so. All right, and one thing that I might add later in this for the hair is the gravity, but let's do that later. So for now, let's go and first of all add more hair. So let's see. Well, a bit too much. Maybe something like this for now. And let's add a length modifier. And let's drop this something about 0.2, 0.3 maybe. 0.2 is fine. And let's add a hair cluster. And our hair cluster is gonna be let's see, how many hair cluster do we want? Actually, the hair cluster and the length, I want them to be on above the surface comb, otherwise it's not gonna work. So hair cluster has to be definitely not. So I have 5,000 hair. Let's go cluster multiplier 2, and let's drop this guy something like I don't want too many clusters, so something like this maybe. Okay, that's good for now. And let's add a curl node, and now phase. Let's keep the phase for 0.1 for now. So the magnitude will affect it's kind of like the size of the curl, and then phase, it will affect how many times are curling, like the octaves of the curl. So as you can see, if I scale it down like this, can get some nasty looking hair. I'm gonna need to add on top of this, I'm gonna add a detail node. So I'm gonna increase this to 20 or maybe even 30. I don't want to go too high because hair, all this geometry is gonna affect a lot. We already 1.3 million polygons, but okay, let's see what we got. Go back to curl node, and that's kind kind of creepy. Let's see what else we can do. Stretch. Let's, if I add stretch, what this will do. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how these two parameters work at the moment, so let's keep this. Let's see. That's kind of cool. Okay. Let's go to maybe 4 and maybe 3. And let's try add some frizz, and we can actually go quite crazy with the frizz, because I do want to have some crazy looking hair. So scale. Okay. All right. Start to look pretty creepy. What I might want to do, these hair here are very uniform. So what I might want to do, I might want to add some random hair here and there as an addition, but I'll do that later. Let's see. Let's save this. Let's add some gravity operator on top. And I don't... okay, so let's reduce this. And... okay. I'm gonna have to play with this a little bit. Let's go back to our length node and bring it all the way to the top. And let's start increasing this to get more size variations. To make it look like it's even crazier. And let's go back to the gravity node, and maybe, so this will affect the end, and like this. And as you can see, the hair at the moment are falling inside the mesh. We can avoid that if we add a push away from surface operator. So if I add this, and then we need to add this head here. So let me get rid of this one. I'm gonna click add collision mesh and select my head. And let's see what's going on. Looks like alright, it looks like it's not quite. Let's see, let's move this. Interesting. That's clearly not what I want. It seems for some reason, even if I selected Oh, okay, I made a mistake. That's my fault. That's the skull geo. That's not what I want. Actually, what I want is this guy here, the head. Ah, there you go. Now it's actually colliding with the hair, and we can change this to our likes. So we can set this to something like this, and we can also reduce this guy so it doesn't collide on the root, because I don't want that. And that looks, even if some of the hair are going inside, but that looks actually pretty good. I do like what's going on here, and it looks really crazy and nasty, but I don't like that this is very very regular. I want to add more variation here in the distribution. So one way that I could do that is by, well, let me save this. And if I go into my hair, I could go and say distribution multiplier. I could click here and add something like a noise, for example. So let's try that. And in the noise, I can increase something like spottiness and play a little bit with values like thresholds, and maybe reduce the amplitude and things like that. But I'm still getting a little bit too much of too much regular stuff going on. I want it much more patchy. So what I'm gonna do, I think, let me break the connection here and set it back the way it was before. Okay, I believe it was like this. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to ZBrush, and I'm gonna add some of this detail here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back before I deleted all these parts here. Okay, and I'm gonna select this time this guy here, and I'm just gonna select a little bit of patches of areas where I do want to have some hair. So something like here, and a little bit more like here. Oops, a bit more here. And let's see, maybe something like this. And let's see what we can do here. Maybe I'm just include this guy as well. Something like this. Just to have a little bit more variation. Let's see what we got if we go like here. So let's go back to polygroups and polygroup masked. Okay, we got this this situation here. So let me select, but I don't want these guys. All right, let's export this and export as hair sculpt 2, or let's be coherent, 02. Save. And now I'm gonna import these guys back. So if they're here, get rid of this guy. Hair sculpt 2, and I'm gonna drag it here. And oh right, so because we rescale this guy, so this is, I'm gonna copy this value here. So let's set it back to 0, and set this back to 1, and now bring this guy back in here, set this back to 10, and translate to the same value. There you go. So I've got exactly the same scale, and now grab this and drag it outside here. And let me, just to be sure, let me freeze transformations. All right. And now let's copy basically what I'm doing here in here. So let's add again a furball like so, and let's delete everything, these guys here, and let's copy these instead. Copy, yes, let's copy these. I actually copied the wrong one, so copy, and I'm gonna paste them here. And obviously these hair are way too much. Let's go to 500 or so, and the length of these guides is 10. So let's go and set this to 10, and yeah, that's already looking much better. And let's go here and assign our plane material. So yeah, that's looking already much better. I can actually, for this guy, I can go here and maybe I can drop a little bit the size here, so the top hair are not gonna be as thick. I can drop like this, and maybe I can do the same here. Let's see, it might look better if I add something like this. Yeah, it's gonna look a little bit better. And let's go back to these guys, and let's see, I don't actually need this, so I'm gonna delete it, and maybe I could increase the gravity a little bit or decrease it. That's probably fine. Let's go into the freeze node, and I can actually, let's see, I can increase this. Even more, so something like this. Let's see how it looks on this one. If I set this to 3, might be a little bit too much, probably 2 was better. And set it this to 2 as well. I think it looks a little bit more natural. Curl. The curl here could be, let's see, maybe something like this. Alright. I mean, I might go and tweak further these parameters here. But let's see. Maybe something like this. It looks kind of cool. I might go and further tweak these parameters, but you get the idea on how this whole process works. So, oops, I think something I might want to go here in the push away from mesh and maybe increase this guy a little bit. Distance. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave them go inside a little bit. It's not a big deal. Let's see. The thing is, I don't really want them to be so sticky to the surface. So I'm just gonna let them go inside a little bit like this. Okay. What's going on here? I'm having some hair. Who's doing this? Okay. Oh, these are these hair that are coming down like that. Okay. I see. Yeah, I see. Okay, well, I might maybe I'm gonna go and cut some of this hair here, because I don't really want this to happen. As you can see, this side I have no hair here like it should. This side I have a bunch of hair that they're going in here, so that might be due to some of the parameters here that I have. But overall, I quite like how this guy is looking. It looks really crazy and messed up. So I'm probably gonna go and further tweak these parameters. But for today's video, I think that's probably enough. Let's see if we can get, I'm gonna save this. Let's see if we can get a preview. Alright, so this is a preview with Octane render. Obviously, what you see here, you can notice here these objects. These are the pieces that are spawning the hair. So these are probably, well, not probably, these will be removed when I finalize the object. But for now, it looks like it's pretty cool. I might want to go and make the beard maybe a little bit longer. I'm not sure, but I do like the way that the hair here are displayed. They look quite cool and creepy, and I think they're gonna look okay on the final zombie. And alright, so it's all for today. And once again, if you like what I'm doing and you want to support me, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video, where I get all my textures and material, and we're gonna do a render of this guy and see how it's gonna look. So I'll see you there, and thank you for watching. Bye.